this morning we're given another one of those troubling Gospels where the disciples just don't seem to be with the program. They don't recognize Jesus. Why? We've seen Mary Magdalene in the garden mistake Jesus for a gardener. It wasn't until he spoke her name that she recognized him. Theologians make a lot of this, that the name, there's such power in our name. Name recognition by God. People come alive if they remember your name. And to know that God knows their name brought Mary Magdalene into the light. In this passage from Luke instead, we have Jesus needing to show he's not a ghost, to actually eat something in their presence. And theologians make a lot of that because, as Christians, we gather together to also share in eating, symbol of our community as well. Recognizing Jesus, particularly the resurrected Jesus, is a challenge for the disciples. And I would say it's a challenge for all of us. How difficult is it to see Jesus in another person? Particularly if you don't know that person, or you may disagree with that person, or you may be at odds with that person. How difficult is it to see Jesus in ourselves when we are not feeling Christ-like, when we are feeling not disciple-like? Brought in some things for my display today. I brought in some family photographs, and I'll leave you to figure out who's who in some of them. And I've hid them so that you have to see the reflection of them in the mirror when you come up for communion. Why did I do this? I did it because this is a very special mirror. This mirror hung in my parents' home since I was as old as I remember. And I never quite understood the mirror, and I came up with a name for it, which my father, I don't think, liked too much. I called it the upside down, broken, worn out mirror. Why? If you go to the back of the mirror, there's a little photograph of what the mirror originally looked like when it had all its ornate gilding on it. Now it just has a little bit left, but this was really the bottom of the mirror. If you look at the picture, you can see that the top part has been lost for probably 100 years. And in order to make it look right, my father turned it upside down, and it hung this way. It also has a worn spot, because this is when mirrors, they really put silver onto the glass, and mirrors started to wear and tarnish at that time. And so, when my father encouraged me to call it the rose mirror, I called it the worn out, upside down, broken mirror. And it's a reminder, as we see reflections as you come up for communion in the mirror, that we too are broken. We too can feel upside down. We too can feel worn out. And how much more difficult it is to feel like Jesus at those times. How much harder it is to embody Jesus for someone else when we are feeling worn out, upside down, and broken. My friends, that is what we do. And that is when we look for Jesus in others. That is why we model Jesus for them, because our world is an upside-down, broken, worn-out place at times, and Jesus brings the promise of healing, of refreshment, and I love this word, resourcement, a returning to the source of all that is good in creation. Jesus promises forgiveness. Jesus promises resurrection. We have to look. We have to recognize. We shouldn't be frightened. And then, and only then, will we be able to find Jesus speaking in that God-shaped hole inside of all of us and shining forth with radiant fullness and with the joy of Easter morning.